Um, Nothing got me into tattooing per se. Tattoos always mesmerized me. As a kid, I thought it was so cool that adults could still draw on themselves, I guess. And I thought it was the coolest thing I had ever seen. And I just wanted to live a life where a thing like that is okay. Um, so yeah, well, it differs in a lot of ways. I mean, obviously from sort of technical or formal aspects that, the same way architecture and painting, you can take a cubist painting of a house, but if you try to actually build it, no one would want to live in it. If you take a Tim Burton movie, and no one would want to live in the house either, but you want to see it on the screen. So I think at the end of the day, from a sort of formal point of view, it's just that. It's like it's what works, what doesn't in the context or another is very different from one context to another. And it'd be a long conversation to break it down, but I could, of course. But I would say tattooing represents the opposite of what is disposable, what is temporary, what is commodified. I mean, of course, it's commodified to some extent, but it, in many ways, it sort of overrides or avoids a lot of the pitfalls of contemporary culture and things that and certain aspects or certain ways that culture evolved that alienated a lot of people and alienated the cultures themselves to some extent. And I think that people find in tattooing a certain purity that is almost gone from most other fields of culture. I think it has nothing to do with watchmaking, except that it exists in the same place at the same time for the same people, and as such, it belongs to contemporary culture, and therefore, by definition, is related because it's part of the whole. It's facets of the same thing, but it's different facets. I was gifted by my aunt a watch in probably 82, 3 maybe. It was a white plastic watch of a brand, one name, but that brand of plastic watches from the 80s that had a wind rose on it, and it was white with the blue wind rose on it. Well, because the brand because they chose me, first of all. They are the only brand on that level that would have the audacity to, keep my language very PC, to do a thing like that. That's it. As simple as this. Or at least 4 years ago, they were definitely the only brand, and since I think it, led the way for other brands. But there was no other brand on that level that would have been able to do that. I had been at that point already working on some watch designs and on a lot of things related to watches. So, it didn't catch me by surprise in that respect. And there had been, I would say less successful maybe attempts to have tattooists collaborate with watch brands previously, and not to look down on anyone. It's just not the right match. In this case, it was. You know, and the one thing is that Hublot never tried to force a format. They trusted me. They were like, okay, well, we the watch experts, but you're the tattoo art whatever expert. We're gonna let you do your thing because you know we're not gonna try and tell you how to do it. And you know, I guess I was up to the challenge, but yeah. So that was, you know, I was like, this is it. You know, probably when they called me, I was like, okay, I wanted, you know, that's something I always wanted. Now I got it. You better not mess that up. I put in that you know, this collaboration, this watch. I have, you know, besides my own projects, my own things, but you know, I've done a lot of commissions and collaborations. But this is by very far the things that have been the most passionate, that I've put the most energy and love and emotion in my whole life. Well, it was a process of elimination of things that I didn't want to do, and I was lucky that Hublot just followed me on those. You know, I just, you know, at first I was like, okay, well, you know, I was trying to maybe guess or kind of like, okay, maybe they want kind of this, that looking, you know, what are they expecting, what are they hoping for? But you know, I also had my own opinion about that, of course, and so it was, you know, I did like dozens, maybe hundreds of different designs, different routes, and you know, and then we tried to narrow down, and it was mostly a process of elimination. I don't really have a quantity of tattoos. I'm essentially completely covered.